Good morning, everybody. We are going to look at today Sonnet 18. This is a Shakespearean sonnet written from William Shakespeare. Now, it's not called the Shakespearean sonnet because William Shakespeare wrote it. It's because he wrote sonnets this style and he did it the best. Sonnet has been around since Italy and it came from a song. It was a song. Okay, let's look at this. 18 lines. For starters, I would hopefully you have it all open right now. You are going to count the lines on the right. So I want you to, this is notability, write one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Everybody's writing, everybody's counting lines, everybody is annotating the poem. I know it's not easy for all of you. Some of you have a difficult time doing this. You don't feel like you're English scholars, but I'm asking you to fake it until you make it because you have that power to do that. And this is what learned people do. Okay, so here we go. We have 14 lines. Let me see, this line looks a little funky. Let me go back here and write 10, period. Okay, 14 lines. 2 of them are indented, so there are 4 couplets. Let me see if we can underline 4 couplets here. Underline the 4th, and then 4 more couplets here, and underline that. Okay, and then the 4th couplet is here. No, not couplet, I'm sorry, quatrain. Okay, so that's quatrain, and then 2 here. I would like you to maybe make a little note for yourself. Quatrain. Sorry, Quat. Quatrain. Space, quatrain. And space, quatrain. And then these 2 are at the end are a couplet, rhyming couplet, because they're 2 rhymes, C and D rhyme also. Now, why is this significant? Because it is the form of the poem, right? It's got a certain rhyme scheme. First of all, can anybody remember what the rhythm of this poem is called? Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? We talked about that last Thursday. It's the meter of the poem. Anybody remember? Yes, iambic pentameter. Pentameter. Iambic pen. I'm going to leave it like that to the goal. Iambic pentameter, right? Iambic pentameter. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? This is game. He is telling his beloved that he is going to immortalize them, help them live forever, because this poem will live forever, which is a powerful brag. And it is appropriate since he's Shakespeare and he can do that, right? So I don't even know, there's so much to say. First, also, while we're here annotating, let's notice the rhyme scheme. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? That's A, right? Temperate. Does temperate rhyme with a day? No, so that's going to be B. May rhymes with day. That's A. A, B, A, B. Date rhymes with temperate. Okay. Shines. Shines doesn't rhyme with anything, so I'll put that there. Shines is going to be C. Dimmed. Does dimmed rhyme with shines? No. So that's D. Declines, shines, yes, C. Trims, dimmed, yes, D. Thy eternal summer shall not fade. That's a new one. Fade is new, so that's E. Oest doesn't rhyme with anything. That's F. Shade rhymes with fade. That's E. Growest rhymes with oest. That's F. And C, nothing. We'll have a G here and a G here. Wait, again, I put a G here. Oops, I want to put a G here. Okay, get rid of these GGs. Okay, so you can see the rhyme scheme A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, G, G, all of Shakespearean sonnets. Like I say, in general, not all of them. As a rule, they definitely follow this rhyme scheme. And these 4 sonnets, he starts with a question. He's making a proposition. Maybe he's considering it to himself. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? thou art more lovely. Let's see how he does this. Does he compare her to a summer's day? Let's see. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Summer's day. Highlight. Yellow. Compare thee to a summer's day. I don't know why it's not yellow. Try to make it yellow. Thou art more lovely and more temperate. So we know she's got to be lovely, and he's going to prove that she's temperate. What is temperate? Temperate is a very interesting word to describe a person. Temperate is, it comes from a Latin word, it's temp something. Tempo comes from that steady, even keeled, regular, not given to extremes. We'll say not. Maybe I'm going to make my notes a little bit smaller here. My notes will be small, but you can write them. Not given to extremes. Not given to extremes. So she's not given to extremes. She's moderate. She is regular. She is on time. She is timely. She is steady. And okay, rough winds do shake the dawn. Now he's trying to compare her to summer. In Shakespeare's day, they believed that Shakespeare believed. There was a saying, it's as good as a summer's day. Comparing this is as good as it's going to get, meaning this is as good as it's going to get. There was like a catchphrase. It was going around, this is as lovely as a summer's day. That was the time people would have been familiar with that. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May. This is a reference to the weather, the summer's day, right? So sometimes he can't compare her because summer's too short. It's too rough. Summer could be rough. Winds are rough. And summer small. I want to make it small. Sorry, I do want to make my notes smaller so they do not get confused with the text of the poem. I'm going to make that smaller. Okay. Winds are rough. Winds are rough. Summer is short. Summer is short. Summer is short. Why is that underlined? I don't need to underline that. So it's too short. It's too rough. She's not moderate and temperate and lovely like she is. Sometimes too hot, the eye of heaven shines. I'm going to say this is about, what do you think the eye of heaven is? Sun, that's right. The sun is too hot. It's often its gold complexion dimmed, and sometimes the sun is dimmed with clouds. Sometimes the sun is dimmed with cloud. I'm going to make that very small. Very small. Very, very, very small. Very, very, very small. Okay. And every fair from fair sometimes declines. What does that mean? That means time. Time is taking the beauty, everything that is beautiful, everything from beauty declines. Everything from beauty is temporary, and it declines. Everything is temporary and it declines. And okay. By chance or nature's course untrimmed. So this is saying here is from time. Either it's from time or it's by chance. It just happens naturally from time. From time. So the nature's course untrimmed. The trimmed trees becomes decorated. This is untrimmed. It's undecorated. But thy, this is the switch here. The first 8 lines are comparing her to summer, comparing her on thou. He said, thy eternal summer shall not fade. How? Vampire? How is that possible? Sorry about that. I don't know what happened here. How is that possible? How? How can she not fade her beauty or his beauty? We don't know. And I'll explain what that means soon. How? Vampire? Thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose the possession of the fair that thou owest. Now that means you will not lose your beauty. Your beauty shall not fade. You will not lose the beauty you own or the beauty that you owe. So you will, some people say, go down in history, be remembered from your ancestor, your ancestry's line. If you're beautiful, you are going to give your beauty to your children, so you own it and you owe it back. You have to give it back. The universe, the earth, time takes the beauty away from you. Nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade. This is very reminiscent of Psalm 23. Thou shalt walk through the shadow of death, thou shalt not fear. God is with you. Now, I'm going to get to the clincher here. When in eternal lines to time thou growest. Eternal lines. What are eternal lines here? Let's see, highlight that. Eternal lines. When in eternal lines to time thou growest. So you are going to grow more beautiful, more timely within these eternal lines. Eternal lines, what could be a line? A line of poetry. So long as men can breathe or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. What is this? This is the eternal lines. This is the poem that he is going to give her eternal life. Or that is one reading. Oh, good. This is very interesting to me. This gives life to thee. It ends with this rhyming couplet. This is the poem. This is what he's talking about. He has immortalized his beloved in a poem that comes directly from his heart with the heartbeat. Many people believe that this is a funeral poem, a eulogy written for his son. His son died young, I think at 4 years old. His son so was beautiful to him, and his beauty will last forever in these lines of a poem. Either way, it's powerful. It's powerful if you read it happy and upbeat. It's powerful to immortalize his beloved within the lines of this poem. And it's also powerful to immortalize his son. If you read it a little bit somber and serious and slowly, it sounds like he could be talking about his son. Because if you notice, the son, the progression of, let's look at the progression of the verbs in this. I guess we'll underline, okay. Shines, underline, dims, dimmed, declines, fade, and shade. Okay. The beauty is here. You can take these notes. Let's take a look at that. Shines, dimmed, declines, fade, shade. Sorry, I want it like this. Shines, dim, declines. So shines, dims, declines, shade, fade. This is the progression of the sun, right? In the sky? Yeah, let's see if I could write that down. It's the progression of the sun. How about another pen? I can't use a pen on this? Okay. The progression of the sun in the sun shines, dims, declines, shades, fades. It's also the progression of life. It comes out shining, it dims, it declines, it fades, it shits. This is the sign. These verbs are powerful. This is all comes together in 14 lines of rhymed iambic pentameter. It's the most popular of all of his sonnets, the most popular sonnet today. It's worth looking at. Stop sharing.